Thank you very much. We are encouraging the entire world to pay attention to Zaire and the countries around us in ECOWAS. As the chairman of the ECOWAS, I've wielded the big influence of Nigeria to discourage unconstitutional change of government. That is stabilizing. Equally, we have eased the sanctions. We need to trade with one another, not fight each other.
African continent have not gotten her independent holistically from her colonial masters. This can be seen from the high level of recolonization that is going on in Africa, with a lot of foreign mercenaries storming into Africa with their military base, with policies from IMF, World Bank, and all of that to keep Africans perpetually in poverty in order for them to enrich themselves in their own country. But the issue here is the Sahel, the Bukina-faso, Mali, and Niger. We remember that in July 2023, the ECOWAS president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president of Nigeria, sanctioned the people of Niger because there was a military coup.
We will not allow coup after coup. West Africa's a prison.
This sanction came so heavy on the people that they cut off the electricity supply to that state. They closed their border. There was no food supply. The people suffered. Many died in the hospital. Among, just to mention but few, of the terrible incident that Nigerians passed through during this period. And even after the sanctions were released and border opened, electricity returned back and all of that, the Nigerian junta never looked back. They took their decision and they decided never to look back. Now, it happens that a few weeks ago, the president of Nigeria and the ECOWAS chairman was in Saudi Arabia, where the World Economic Summit held. And the issue of the Sahel came up. And this is what Bola Ahmed Tinubu have to say. Very short.
It is very, very necessary for us to engender growth, stability, and economic prosperity for our people. The rest of the world needs to look at fundamentals of problem, not just ordinary geopolitical. It has to go to root as the world paid attention to the poverty level of Sahel and the rest of ECOWAS. Have they helped the infusion of capital and pay adequate attention to the exploitation and opportunities available by the mineral resource that is available? Are we going to play only a big brother's role in a talk shop without necessary action? We just have to be involved in exploitation, promotion, and prosperity of that region in order to see peace and stability and economic growth.
So, as you can hear, Mr. President there, I think this is one of the best things that they have said since he became the president of Nigeria and ECOWAS chairman. In as much as there is an undertone, political undertone to that, which I wouldn't want, for the purpose of this video, I wouldn't want to dive into that, because someone will say that must you always hit on Mr. President? So I will leave it that way. But the thing here to look at here carefully is the fact that he made mention of exploitation in the Sahel region. Talk about the poverty and the mineral resources in those region of West Africa, of which the only thing that the Europeans think about is how to explore those mineral resources to their own advantage, while those people are living in abject poverty. And then this again will go down in another way to Mr. President, to let him understand and know that the pressure, just like he said in that video, that it is not about putting pressure on this and that, but we should look at how we can solve things and have peace within the region, and that it is not about, we don't want to fight, it's not about to fight, but to have peace, because we are brother. Now, it seems like the pressure was actually mounted on Mr. President during that time to go into war with Niger. So thank God that he never did that, because of numerous calls from all quarters to make sure that he never do. And the question here is this: Mr. President, from what he has said, and he's returned back to Abuja, Nigeria. I think that he should do better, try to see how we can relate better with every country within the West African region and see how they can develop. The Nigerian government have a lot to do for the development of West Africa and Africa at large. As long as we have leaders that are greedy and holding on to power and looting the resources of the state, then there will be no any form of development in Nigeria and West Africa or Africa at large. So this is one of the takeaway from that video, of which to me is a commendable efforts from Mr. President but the truth of the matter is that it's not about talking. Are you going to do it? So the president at this point in time needed to take action from what he has said. How can you now make policies? Foreign policies. How can you now relate between those countries that are within your border and see how you can come together and develop the region, not to have some political abracadabra? Do I make any sense? Let's have this conversation at the comment section. Thank you for watching.